and gentlemen, and welcome back to Woo New, your weekly Universal news and updates. If you're new here, I sold my soul to the devil to make weekly updates on all of the changes I can find in the 2 Universal Orlando theme parks for you to enjoy. But let's not ramble on about my channel and get into some changes. For our first updates, we can enter Islands of Adventure and walk to the back of the park to take a closer look at the construction progress of the currently unannounced Jurassic Park roller coaster. There has been no new track placement this week, as the only track left is the final S-bend and brake run that interfere with pathways that have been set up for construction workers to use. But that doesn't mean that there hasn't been construction progress this week. More and more of the main rockwork structures that the spaghetti bowl section of the track weaves through have received detailing, and some of the rocks have even had plants placed in or on top of them. This part of the track now looks a lot more complete with these added details, so I look forward to when all of it is complete. It is going to look so good. Moving on to other parts of the construction site, we can also see that some work has been going on by the show buildings. By one of the show buildings, a large metal box structure has gone up. It's hard to tell if this structure is framework for the building or not, as it actually looks really similar to this metal section that the car actually goes through that can be found early in the ride, so we'll just have to wait and see what theming comes for this part of the building. Also, in regards to the show building, as they have been doing, like the past few weeks, more and more paneling has been installed on the outside of the launch and show buildings, making them slowly look more and more complete as time moves on. While on the topic of an attraction that hasn't opened yet, it reminds me that as of this week, 6 Universal Orlando attractions did exactly the opposite of that. Yes, disappointingly, 6 attractions have had to temporarily close as of this week due to Universal cutting costs in the park. Most of them were smaller attractions, however, which leads to some interesting wait times as people flocked to get their final rides in. The rides that closed included Fast and the Furious Supercharged, Kang and Kodo's Twirl and Hurl, Poseidon's Fury, Storm Force Acceleratron, A Day in the Park with Barney, and Fear Factor Live. So, attractions closing is never the best of news for everybody, so let's not focus on bad news for now. Universal, as of this week, has made a ton of announcements that all annual pass holders can get excited on. Starting these out, we have pictures of next month's annual pass button already. It's a Revenge of the Mummy themed button that will be available in September, so make sure to swoop in and grab it with a ghostly swoosh. Next on our list of announcements for UOAPs is we have now gotten a lot of details on the annual pass holder appreciation days. By the time this video is uploaded, all of these things will already have started being released in the park, so make sure to check them out as soon as you can. Starting August 10th and ending September 30th, pass holders will gain access to a list of discounts at certain hotels. However, 20 annual pass dishes located in different restaurants around the parks, be able to purchase limited-time annual pass holder t-shirts and popcorn buckets, receive a $20 discount toward a second $50 purchase if we spend $80 or more in a shop, receive a new discount in Express Pass, have even more special entrances into the parks, and we get free magnets. Wow, with all of those benefits, it's easy to be jealous of any annual pass member who can go into the parks right now. But this next update will be useful for you, even if you don't live or plan to travel to Orlando at all. And that is the new merchandise Universal has released. Universal released new icons and Jack the Clown face masks, both of which are not only sold in the theme parks, but also in the online store. The online store also now sells new re-released Fright Nights magnets, and the comic book t-shirt that could previously only be found in the Tribute store. Speaking of which, what has happened at the Tribute store this week? The answer is, if you're into merchandise, some stuff happened. Other than that, not much. The ominous coming soon wall still stands in the second room of the shop, hiding its mysteries to be told another day. In case of the new merchandise, however, the Tribute shop is now home to a collection of different horror-related Funko Pops, new Icons-themed lanyards and socks, and brand new t-shirts similar to the pass holder exclusive 30 Years Icon shirt, just without the pass holder exclusive part. Obviously, all of the merchandise in the Tribute store is quite high demand, as Revenge of the Mummy line has actually extended in front of the main facade due to how much of its queue was required for the Tribute store. Also, in the New York area of the entrance, we can see that Uni has planted new trees in front of the Shrek 4D and Minions attractions, making the area look a lot greener than it already does, with that beautiful face on all of the Shrek posters. In simpler random news for this area, Ben & Jerry's in New York has now reopened with a very limited menu of flavors compared to what it normally has. So if you want to get a good viewing of the shows of New York with a street treat in hand, make sure to stop in. Thinking of the construction show in New York just made me realize I actually left out a pretty major construction project Universal randomly started this week. In Islands of Adventure, a locker expansion for Harry Potter and the Forbidden Journey has magically started construction. Currently, it's just some cinder block walls that hopefully will soon receive some theming. Wouldn't want to ruin that amazing view of the castle. So that's all of the major things that I could find in the park this week, but that doesn't mean that there isn't small things too. So what small things did I find this week? Well, starting off this week's mini updates is Chomp Hot Dogs, located in Marvel Superhero Island, now sells corn dogs as advertised by this little sign that they put in the stand. Next up is Uni is now selling a pink Spirit jersey, and is also selling a new retro pin and retro keychain. So that's all I could find in Universal this week. And even though I didn't find as much as I normally do, at least we haven't had to deal with bad news like Halloween Horror Nights being canceled and layoffs like we have had for the past couple of updates I've done. Anyways, I hope you enjoyed the video. If you would be so kind as to leave a like or subscribe, it helps my channel out a lot. And with all of that said and done, this is Wunu, signing off.